Welcome, everybody. Welcome, fellow patriots. Welcome, fellow deplorables. Welcome, all you dregs of society, all you rock dwellers, all you sycophants, all you stinkos, all you hateful people who celebrate the president. You're always welcome here, and this is the Conservative Commandos radio show. I'm Rick Trader, coming to you from the studios of the Conservative Commandos radio network, and joining me as my co-host is the Doctor for the Republic, Dr. Right, Dr. Nasir Shaikh. Nasir, welcome to Conservative Commandos.
Thank you, Rick. Always a pleasure to be here hosting on the Conservative Commandos radio network. And let's get it started by saying it's just an absolute another great day to be alive and well and free and living in the United States of America, the greatest country in the history of the world, bar none. And Rick, by the time our show airs, this whole Memorial Day weekend is going to be over. So I think from us, and I know you say this thing too, from all of us here at the Conservative Commandos radio show and all AUN TV, just want to go ahead and, let everybody know, okay, that how much we, care and think about our veterans, not only the veterans, but the families of these veterans, and talk about the veterans from the past, those men and women, mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, uncles and aunts, grandmothers and grandfathers that gave their lives for what we basically talk about in terms of our Constitution, for America, for why this is the greatest country in the history of the world. And so we just want to, mourn and grieve their loss and what the ultimate sacrifice they gave so that you and I can be here together today talking about that. And also for all those who are currently serving now and their families as well. This is a Memorial Day for them too as well, for us to basically honor their service and their sacrifice, what they've been doing. So we live in the greatest nation in the world because we had the greatest people in the world that allowed us and fought for us to be where we are here today.
Well, Nasir, this Memorial Day weekend has been very, very, very different than any Memorial Day weekend I can remember. It seems Memorial Day weekend has gotten to be picnics and barbecues and going to the beach and things like that. Well, with the Chinese flu, with the Chinese virus, what it is, with quarantine and closures and whatever, maybe some people actually took the opportunity to have thoughts about what Memorial Day really is. And Nasir, it's always bothered me a little bit that when we have holidays like Memorial Day, Veterans Day, 4th of July, that the meaning of the occasion has been so forgotten. And this Memorial Day, bringing memory of the brave men and women who have sacrificed so much to give us the greatest country in the history of God's blue-green planet. Maybe they had time to reflect on it a little bit. Maybe they watched a TV show or a program about the sacrifices that our military has made for us. So maybe that would be a good thing, that one of the very good things that come out of this self-imposed quarantine.
You're right, Rick. I mean, look what they did. They canceled parades.
Yeah.
In some areas, okay, even I heard cemeteries were, limited to the number of people. I mean, you're talking an open space. I mean, I believe Arlington was Arlington Cemetery closed, I heard?
Not sure. But
but I mean, this is just...
It's nuts, Nasir. You're a doctor. I'm not. I don't even play one on television. That sunshine and fresh air are enemies of this thing.
I mean, they're talking about social distancing in a freaking park. I mean, the mayor of New York City was threatening people over Memorial Day that he was going to send police officers into the water to drag people out if you went into the water. That you had to stay on wet sand. You couldn't stay on dry sand. You had to be on wet sand.
Well, in California,
California.
In California, they were saying to people, you can't sit on the beach. You can go to the beach, but you had to stand 6 foot apart. You couldn't sit, you couldn't lay down, you had to stand on the beach. How stupid is that? How stupid is that?
Two people on a boat.
Nasir, do you think people are going to remember this when they go to vote? Are they going to vote these idiots out?
The smart ones will, the stupid ones won't, because the stupid ones are where we got in the first place in the beginning. Yeah.
Well, talking about stupidness, or the
Low
Democrats
information voters.
They're continuing to push. The Democrats are continuing to push this idea of vote by mail.
Wow, now it's going to be, you can vote at home. That's the new way of devising the wording. And Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, these guys, along with the Democrats and their allies in the media, their allies in Hollywood. Hollywood is pushing this. All the big stars are pushing this thing now. Michael Moore is talking about this. And, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, put it out as an executive order that if you want, it'll be legal tender, absolutely legal to get your ballot at home, mail it in. If you still want to go to a place to vote, that's fine too. But remember how we lost those things in California? Remember election night? It was like four or five of those places we thought were representative seats being held. And next thing we know is 10, 15, 20,000 vote totals are being eliminated overnight by this harvesting, voter harvesting.
Maybe our side needs to do a better job. In any election, or even a presidential election, upwards of 50% of the people don't vote. Maybe our side needs to mind people from our side, get out, that make sure that those people, they can't get out to vote, that those people send in a ballot. All right, maybe we need to do a better job, Nasir. If it's coming to that. Or how about this idea?
Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe the California election should be called null and void because of vote irregularities.
Go. Absolutely. That would be nice.
Scary idea.
Get the lawyers involved.
I love that, one of the good things that came out of the Iraq War was when they go to vote, everybody sticks their thumb in a bottle of ink so they can't vote a second time. I think all voting should be done on one day. That's election day. I think that mail-in ballots should be limited to people who cannot physically get to the polls. I think there should be some restrictions on that. Voter integrity. My gosh, if we don't have voter integrity, people who vote honestly, their vote will be canceled out by somebody who votes illegally. So maybe, somehow, some way, the vote in California should be a null and void. I don't know. I'm sure our friends in California love to hear me say that. But
just a thought.
Just a thought. If you can't guarantee a fair and honest election, your votes don't count, period. Hey, Nasir, let's take a break. And then on the other side, we'll tell our viewers and listeners who our guests are for today. You are listening to and watching the Conservative Commandos radio show with Dr. Nasir Shaikh and yours truly, Rick Trader. Don't go away. We'll be right back right after this break.
Mom, thank God you're going to be okay.
So relieved. But you both should know when my time comes, I have a final expense policy with Senior Care USA.
Is Senior Care USA the life insurance policy that helps loved ones pay for funeral expenses and other debts? Bill and I called to get more information.
Yes, and there's an immediate payout of up to $50,000.
If you're over 50, call Senior Care USA now to learn more about final expense insurance plans.
There's no medical exam, even if you have a pre-existing condition like I do. When I called, the quote was free, and there was no pressure.
I found out that policies start for as little as 35 cents a day. Rates will never increase and coverage won't decrease.
I'm going to call today.
Ask about the free prescription discount card. Oh, I'm so glad you'll be taken care of.
Call 1-800-822-7419. That's 1-800-822-7419.
But is it? It's really just the beginning, right? Have you written a book and want it published but don't know where to start? You're not alone. Page Publishing cuts through the confusion that most new authors face, like copyright protection, barcodes, printing, and digital uploading. We will get your book into bookstores now. We guide you through the publishing maze and help you distribute and sell your work in hard copy and ebook formats. That's right. We will digitize and place your book for sale on Amazon, Apple iBooks, and Google, offering it to millions. Don't waste another minute. Most publishers won't even look at new author submissions, but we're different. We review your book and provide you feedback in about a week. If we decide to publish your book, your work ends and ours begins. From copy editing and proofing to typesetting and book cover art, our team gets you into bookstores fast.
Call 1-877-461-5033.
Does your current bathroom need to be updated immediately? Introducing One Day Bath and Shower Remodeling, the complete and hassle-free way to get the new bathroom of your dreams in as little as 1 day and for as little as $199 a month. Yes, the experts at One Day Bath and Shower Remodeling will come to you anywhere in the country and show you all the customized options. Now you can have a brand new bathroom in as little as 1 day. Large or small bathrooms, if you want a new bathtub or shower installed, we can do it in as little as 1 day. And if you call right now, you can save $750 off your remodel. We make it easy by offering you financing as low as $199 per month. So for as little as $199 a month, you can finally have the bathroom of your dreams. Call now to schedule your free in-home consultation.
And welcome back. Welcome back to Conservative Commandos Radio Show with Dr. Wright, Dr. Nasir Shaikh, and yours truly, Rick Trader. And Nasir, the hallmark of our show has always been our great guests. And if you have someone you'd like to recommend as a guest, it's easy to do. Please send an email to me. It's auntv@yahoo.com, auntv@yahoo.com. I read all my emails. Please send a suggestion. So with that, Nasir, who will we be speaking with today?
Well, we've got great guests on once again, Rick. We have Dr. John DeGarmo. He's an international foster care expert. He's also the director of the Foster Care Institute and the founder and the National Development Director of Never Too Late. And Dr. DeGarmo is going to be talking to us about, he's going to be mentioning and talking about foster care and those things in terms of, how important that is in our society, in any society. And we're also going to be speaking with Cindy Grosz. She is the Republican running in the primary June 23rd in the New York Congressional District 4, that is in Long Island. And she's going to be talking to us obviously about her campaign, why she got in it, and why she thinks it's a winnable seat, finally, in New York CD4.
All right. And now, sir, we're also going to be speaking with a couple other people. I wanted to get people's reactions. To how this quarantine, this Chinese flu is affecting them. And Andrea Hoyer is going to be joining us. She's a resource specialist, which is a special education teacher from Lemoore, California. She wrote, I have had to teach using distance learning for the past 2 months, and I can tell you it has taken a toll on everyone. So Andrea is going to join us and tell us what it's like for a teacher to try to teach children, especially special education children, what it's like to teach them over the internet. We're also going to have Bella D'Angelo join us, and she does her own radio show. She's out in Minnesota. Wanted to get her take as far as what's happening in that part of the country with the Chinese virus shutdown. So we've got a great show lined up for everyone today. Well, talking about China, we're not about the flu, but China is cracking down on the Hong Kong protesters, Nasser.
With all this thing going on, Rick, all the distractions of what's happening here in the United States, just like you were talking about here, what's going to happen with the voting thing. I mean, what's happening there? What are we doing with social distancing? And then you've got the alt-left media, the left state media, we call the Democratic State Party controlled media. All of these things factoring in, and things are going around the world. And you know what? What is happening in Hong Kong? Hong Kong. I mean, I know they say New York's the financial capital of the world, but I'll tell you what, Hong Kong comes a damn close second to it. And what's happening is China is utilizing everything that they caused with the Wuhan virus flu. Oh, and speaking of that, did you see just the other day in the news, I think it was a couple of days ago, they finally have come out. There were some documents that were leaked that actually said that there were 3 types of bat viruses that were being worked on in the Wuhan laboratories. And so all this stuff that we've been told that some guy was making bat soup someday, like, back in November, December of last year, and drank some bat soup from a wet market, all that is just completely BS. Everybody was saying, oh, conspiracy theory. There goes Trump. There goes Trump once again with his conspiracy theories,
Yeah. Well, Nasser,
Go ahead,
I've
Rick.
said before here on Conservative Commandos, I talked about a speech that was given by a high-ranking Chinese general about 20 years ago. And in the speech, he said that China needs more room for its population, needs more farmland, that they're polluting China, and that China had to expand. He said militarily they couldn't expand because the United States would stop them. It would lead to a thermonuclear war. He said, but if we had a cocktail of biological agents that we could spread around, say, for instance, North America, because there's only 3 places in the world where China could get everything it needs: land, farmland, natural resources. One would be Australia. The other 2 would be Canada and the United States. Well, if you spread this cocktail of biological agents across North America, kill off the population, the Chinese could walk right in, recolonize North America. There would be no one there to stop them. So goes along with what you just said, Nasser.
Absolutely. And then not only that, so now you take over, when you think about it, taking over a financial sector. I mean, the whole reason that Hong Kong, if you take a look at the history of Hong Kong, the people that came to that piece of rock, they weren't the elites. They weren't, the people of favor. These were people that were leaving China with everything that they had, basically maybe on their backs. And these are the people that finally forged, because of what? Capitalism, freedom, economic drive, everything that's antithesis to what the Chinese communists do. And they built one of the greatest financial empires in the history of the world in Hong Kong.
Yep.
And what we're seeing right now is that China utilizing this whole Wuhan virus situation to once again try to gain or strengthen their foothold in a place where they shouldn't be. In the United States, I'm just hoping that in the background that there's stuff going on, that they're looking at this, and that, the Trump administration has got that, being looked at as well. I'm sure they do, but like I said, it's just tough when you see these things happening.
Well, Nasser, as you mentioned earlier, we are on the back half of Memorial Day weekend, and something that's not happening this year that has happened for past 100 or so years is the Indianapolis 500. That won't happen, but however, NASCAR is back, Nasser, and I know that you're down there in Charlotte, North Carolina, the NASCAR capital of the world.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Speedway here in North Carolina and whatever in Charlotte, there was no social distancing over there. I'll tell you that. They were out in record numbers. And look, eventually, Rick, we can't be doing the social distancing. I mean, this is just not going to work from now on. I mean, they're talking about, for example, restaurants now. If you had a capacity restaurant of 100, can you imagine that a restaurant from now is going to have to basically say our capacity is down to 30 maybe? Because we need social distancing tables and put them aside? Waiters are going to come to us in masks now and order, or you go into a restaurant, you're going to have to put a mask on, then you're going to have to cut your food, take your mask off, eat your food, put your mask back on, chew your food.
Never thought of that. I never thought of that.
These are the things that this is what they want us to do. Can you imagine going to a bar and you're siding up to a beautiful woman next to you at a bar? You both have your masks on. You order your drink. You take your mask down. You take a little sip. You put your mask on. You look over the girl over here. She does the same thing. I mean, come on. What are we doing here?
Maybe when she
takes. Are we ever going to be able to share a milkshake with two straws anymore, Rick?
Oh my God, Nasir! I'd never thought of that. I never thought about how do you eat a meal?
Strange.
How do you eat a meal with a mask? How do you eat
maybe you're going to put a hole in that mask.
Oh my God, the thought of it. Well, Nasir, let's take our first break or our next break and get our first guest on. And you are listening to and watching the Conservative Commandos radio show with Dr. Nasir Shaikh, and yours truly, Rick Trader. On the other side, we're going to be speaking with Dr. John DeGarmo, and he is the director of the Foster Care Institute and the founder and the national development director of Never Too Late, a residential group home for boys in foster care. And we're going to be talking about when adoption is needed. Don't go away. We'll be right back with our first guest.
Attention homeowners, do you have a house that's in need of serious repairs? Do you have tenants that never seem to make their monthly payments? How about code violations, past due taxes, or maintenance costs you just can't afford? Then call my friends right now at Quick Cash Offer. They specialize in buying any home, no matter how ugly the situation. Turn that problem property into cash right now. It's just that simple. One call and you can get rid of that home headache forever. They buy the ugliest houses with instant closings, instant cash, and huge savings. Plus, there are no realtor fees, no listing fees, and no repair costs. Just cash in your hands for that painful property. They're buying a few more houses in your neighborhood this month. So take advantage of this cash offer and call Quick Cash Offer now.
855-296-8854. 855-296-8854. That's 855-296-8854.
Listen carefully. If your student loan debt is overwhelming you and things seem hopeless, we've got great news.
If you're still struggling with your student loan debt, there are government programs available that may actually lower your payments by consolidating your federal student loans. Just call us. We'll review your situation and work with you to consolidate your debt. In many cases, depending on your situation, we can lower your monthly payments in half or more. It doesn't matter how much you owe or how far behind you are. Even if you're in default, call us right now to find out how we can lower your payment in half immediately. You can stop the harassing phone calls and the wage garnishments. All you need to do is pick up the phone and call us right now. We can remove your default status, consolidate your federal student loans, lower your payments, and we can do it today. Stop worrying. This is a real solution that can help. So please call us right now.
Call 800-917-8671.
Are you over the age of 50? Want peace of mind and financial security for your family? Here's an important message to you and all seniors from the Final Expense Insurance Hotline. The average funeral costs about $7,000, even more. And the most government benefits will pay your family is only $255. That leaves your loved ones with a burden of paying your debts and funeral costs. Our plans start as low as $1 per day and will pay up to $30,000 for your funeral and other final expenses. There's no medical exam and you'll have lifetime coverage. Plus, your rates will never increase and your plan cannot be canceled regardless of your medical condition, as long as you make your premium payments. Get free information right now. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone in just a few minutes. Call right now.
Call 855-221-7334.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next?
How do you get in front of companies or get a patent?
Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors just like you for 35 years.
And thousands of people contact them every month.
With 65 offices, you can meet with an InventHelp representative near you who will keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. And they offer 3D animations and prototyping services to help demonstrate your idea. InventHelp's exclusive databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to confidentially review new ideas, like yours.
Don't wonder what to do next. Take action right now and get the help you need from InventHelp.
InventHelp. Call today for free information.
800-880-2937. That's 800-880-2937 now.
And welcome back. And this is the Conservative Commandos radio show with Dr. Wright, the doctor for the Republic, Dr. Nasir Shaikh, and yours truly, Rick Trader. And for rebroadcast, please check out our website, CCRShow.com. That's CCRShow.com. You'll find our TV show there, as well as our radio show, a lot of other terrific articles and information. And with that, Nasir, we do have our first guest of the day with us, and please make that introduction.
Thank you, Rick. It is certainly a pleasure here. You know, we always have great guests on our show. You know, we obviously have a conservative, lean to our show. We're mostly talking about politics, right or left. But this subject matter, I think, Rick, is at your heart. It's at my heart. It's obviously at our guest heart, Dr. John DeGarmo, who I'm going to be introducing just a little bit. We're talking about children, Rick, and the foster care system. And we have today with us Dr. John DeGarmo. He's a consultant, a international foster care expert. He's been on the TED or the TED Talking Speakers Bureau. He's also the director of the Foster Care Institute and the founder and the national development director of the Never Too Late, which is a residential group for boys in foster care. He's written many, many books. I guess he's got one of them up there that he can probably show it to our audience right now. He's, as I mentioned before, he's also, Foster Care Survival Guide. He's appeared on many TV shows, all the alphabet networks. He's appeared on all of them, many articles. We certainly do welcome you here today on Memorial Day, Dr. John DeGarmo.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you so much.
Well, you know what? We wanted to talk to you, going through some of the your TED Talk series, also on your articles. One of them particularly, struck me. When adoption is needed. So give us an idea. What is the foster care initiative all about? Your center? How did you sort of, start, you and your wife? I mean, you've got an unbelievable story about you, your family, and your children as well. So I know that's a lot of encompassing. Take it from here, sir.
Well, thanks for asking. My wife and I never planned on being foster parents. It was never something I really wanted to do. I had those misconceptions and believed those myths about children in foster care that so many believe. It wasn't until after the death of my first child from a condition called anencephaly, or some pronounce it anencephaly, a condition where my wife was in labor for 92 hours. It wasn't until after that, after I finally got past my grief. I really buried my grief due to a lot of anger I felt at the time and denial. I tried to immerse myself in work. But years later, moving back to the United States from Australia, where my wife is from, I started teaching in a classroom environment and noticed a lot of students in this rural area had a lot of issues of attendance, and behavior, and academics. And I noticed the correlation there. It started in the home environment for some of these kids. So that led to foster parenting. My wife and I, we thought, we've lost our first child. We have 3 healthy children at this point. But there's so many children where we live who were in need of not only stability and structure and consistency, but what they really needed most of all was someone to love them unconditionally. So that led to foster parenting, and that led to the adoption of 3 of our children. That led to me working with child welfare programs across country and the globe, and working with human trafficking related issues. And I've really dedicated my entire life to helping children in need, to helping foster parents and the children themselves, and the general public, helping them understand these issues. The fact that, in every single community, we have children who are being abused, neglected, abandoned. In every single community, we have children who are victims of child sex trafficking. And I want to bring these issues to light because we don't want to talk about these issues. They make us feel uncomfortable.
You wrote when you finally did have the adoptions take place, you said that 3 of your children are biological.
That's right.
3 are adopted.
Yes.
You said 3 are considered white by today's society, while the other 3 are considered black.
Right.
You said, but in our home, though, there is no difference in color, and as we believe we're all the same color, just different shades of God's skin. That really hit me. And so, God bless you for what you're doing or whatever. But you go on to write, and here's something that I want to ask. When a child is placed into foster care, it says the initial goal is to have the child reunited with his birth parents. Is that just something that's sort of, just something that's sort of written out there? Because how many children really are reunited with their birth parents when they go through foster care?
That's a great question. And on top of that, on top of having no color in our home, we also don't have a label. We don't have a foster child. We don't have an adoptive child. We don't have a biological children. They're all our children, and we love them each unconditionally. You have on any given day, there's 500,000 roughly children placed in the foster care system. And every year, we have about 5 million children in the United States alone who witness and experience domestic violence in their own homes. We have about 300,000 children who are victims of child sex trafficking in our nation. So we have about 500,000 kids in foster care. The end goal is to have that reunification process, as you just noted, to have them reunified with their birth parents. Does it always happen? No. Should it always happen? No. Many times these parents aren't able to care for their children. 2 of the 3 that I've adopted are third generation foster care, which means their parents were in foster care, their grandparents are in foster care, and the system just repeated itself over and over again. And their birth mother never was able to find the therapy, the counseling that she so desperately needed. In fact, their birth mother, when 9 years of age, was trafficked out sexually by her own father. So there's no way she could care for her own children. So they were placed in foster care, and the adoption process came through. Every year there are thousands of children placed up for adoption in the foster care system. Sadly, many of them are never adopted.
No, you're right. In your TED Talk, you talk, I think it was back in 2019, one of them, you say that when you first got your first call, when your wife was, I believe, in Australia with your 5-year-old at that time daughter, and you got a call saying that, you could be up for foster care. It was a 7-year-old girl that was going to be placed, I believe, in your home. When they gave you the story, I mean, I had to pause for a minute in terms of, hearing that how people or, human beings could do that to a child or to their children. But you took that girl in. But then you also say that you've had as many as, I think, 11, 12, 13 people or children, in your home at one time. When you did finally decide to adopt the 3 that you've adopted now, how difficult of a process was that in terms of how do you determine out of all the children that came through your home, why those 3?
Well, that's a great question. And I'm going to add on to that. I've had 4 failed adoptions, which means for some reason the adoptions did not go through, or they were sabotaged for some reason. And the TED Talk girl is one of those girls, one of those failed adoptions. The adoption process works this way. So when a child is placed into the foster care system, their birth parents, their biological family members, there's a time frame, a time period, if you will, where the birth parents are able to, they have to do a number of work. They have to do home parenting classes. They have to have home inspections, drug testing, police background checks during a time frame. If they're unable to meet that during that time frame, for some states it might be 6 months, for other states it might be 1 year or longer. If they're unable to do that, which is known as reunification, then what's known as TPR, termination of parental rights, happens. When that happens, the state will then do a search to see if there's any biological family members who wish to adopt the child, kinship care, if you will. If that doesn't happen, then the foster parents have first right to adopt those children. So the 3 that we've adopted, they had TPR, termination of parental rights. Now, as I just noted, we've had 4 others that failed adoption-wise, 4 failed adoptions. Their rights were terminated, but for tragic reasons, we were unable to adopt them. And I'll be honest with you, each of those 4 is in a very, very bad place right now, and it haunts me today.
You know, Doctor, what happens to a child once they sort of get to the age of 18 and they've been in the foster system, let's say from their, 5, 6, 7 years or even younger? What happens to them when they get to 18 years of age and they haven't been adopted? What's the next step? Is there foster care for above 18? They're emancipated adults, supposedly, I believe, at that point in time, or no?
That's a great question. It's known as aging out. And again, I did not understand this before I was a foster parent. You have thousands of children who age out of the system every year. For some states, it's 18. For some states, it's 21. And the statistics are pretty grim. 55% of these youth who age out of the system, who leave the system, 55% will drop out of school. 65% will end up homeless. 75% will end up incarcerated within a year.
Wow.
And then for so many, it just starts for the next generation because they're not getting the resources to support the life skills that they needed. And let's be clear. No child wants to be in foster care. When they reach that age where they can age out, most of them say, I'm out of here. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be a foster kid. I can do this on my own. And they don't have the support. They've never learned the skills, and they've never gotten the therapy or the counseling that they need. And so they end up in a very dark place.
Now, with the girls, now I assume all the 3 that you adopted, were they girls or were there some?
That's correct. Yes, I have 5 daughters and 1 son. That's right.
5 daughters and 1 son. At what ages were your, I'm going to have to say, biological children?
Right.
And now you brought the foster care children, you've adopted them. So how was that, process, and obviously your wife too, to do this? I mean, obviously everyone's got to be sort of on the same page.
Yes.
So how did you sort of, because it seems like your daughters were quite young at that time, correct? When this all occurred, or?
That's very true. It's very true. My children, we started fostering in 2001. My oldest child was born in 1997. So you can see that it's pretty much their entire life. It's their norm, if you will. My own children are used to having another child in their home who suffered from some type of anxiety. Does it make it easy all the time? No. I mean, it can be very, very challenging, very troubling. At the same time, my children have grieved when some of these kids have left. They've mourned the loss of some of these kids. But at the same time, my hope is this, that my own children have seen a lifestyle so different than their own that they have compassion towards others. They're willing to help other people. They're willing to make sacrifices to serve others in need. And we do see that. We do see that.
Well, we're here, Dr. DeGarmo, to say we're going to have to take a quick break here, but we'd love to hold you over for another segment. Would you be kind enough to do so?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Great. Well, we're here speaking with Dr. John DeGarmo, who is the director of the Foster Care Institute and the founder and the development director for Never Too Late. And we're coming to you from the Conserve Commandos Radio Network studios and around the world on the internet with TalkStream Live, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, American Political Radio, and AM/FM 24/7, and also now on the AUN TV network in California. Folks, please don't go away. We got so much to talk about with Dr. John DeGarmo on the other side. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Are you a veteran and are you a homeowner? Then think Streamline and maybe save yourself a few $100s every month on your mortgage. A VA Streamline refinance. It's called a rate reduction loan because mortgage interest reduction is exactly what it does. It's just for veterans and it lowers your mortgage rate so you can save on mortgage payments every month, every year. That's a lot of money saved. And it's so easy to qualify. You don't need pay stubs. forms, a W-2, or bank statements. You don't need a home appraisal. It's fast and easy to apply, and mortgage interest rates are very low right now. So a VA Streamline Refinance makes it super easy and super affordable to take advantage of this opportunity and really cut your monthly mortgage payments. Veteran and homeowner? Call us to find out more. 888-893-7491. 888-893-7491.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next?
How do you get in front of companies or get a patent?
Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors just like you for 35 years.
And thousands of people contact them every month.
With 65 offices, you can meet with an InventHelp representative near you who will keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. And they offer 3D animations and prototyping services to help demonstrate your idea. InventHelp's exclusive databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to confidentially review new ideas, like yours.
Don't wonder what to do next. Take action right now and get the help you need from InventHelp.
InventHelp. Call today for free information.
800-880-2937. That's 800-880-2937 now.
Is your credit card debt driving you batty?
We're going up! Just like your credit card fees and interest rates. To the top! With those sky-high payments! You can't forget about your debt. Always fear, the debt suckers are here!
Are your payments sucking the life out of you? Just one call to Consolidated Credit can get the debt suckers off your back. Consolidated Credit will lower your interest rates, consolidate your bills into one easy payment, and get you out of debt fast. Call Consolidated Credit and get your life back.
Call 1-800-201-8213. 1-800-201-8213. That's 1-800-201-8213. 1-800-201-8213.
When debt is the problem, Consolidated Credit is the solution.
Because debt sucks!
Attention Viagra and Cialis users. Are prescription drugstore prices too costly? Get 50 generic pills for only $99. That's right, 50 100 milligram generic Viagra for only $99. Our products have the same active ingredients as the brand name products. Money back guaranteed if you're 100% not satisfied. Get 50 generic pills for only $99. Order now and call the number on your screen. Have your credit card ready.
And welcome back. This is the Conservative Commandos radio show with Dr. Wright, the doctor for the Republic, Dr. Nasir Shaikh, and yours truly, Rick Trader. I want to give a shout out to folks who are listening to us on radio stations in Jacksonville, Tampa, and the Villages, Florida, Las Vegas and Reno, Macon, Georgia, Lancaster and Pittsburgh, Boulder and Colorado Springs, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Long Beach, California, Arlington, Virginia, and also seen on the AUN television network in San Francisco, Sacramento, San Jose, all the way up to Redding. Our guest this segment is Dr. John DeGarmo. He is the director of the Foster Care Institute and the founder and national development director of Never Too Late. Doctor, thank you for holding through that break. We really do appreciate your time.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
First of all, I want to say God bless you and your wife for what you've done, to change these kids' lives. How does a person become a foster parent?
Well, you've really got to have a heart for children. People often ask me, do you have to have a big house? Do you have to be rich? Do you have to have a lot of money? No, you don't have to have any of those. You don't have to have a big house. You don't have to have a lot of money. You don't have to be married if you're not married. All you have to do really is have a compassionate heart for children and want to serve these children. And then to become a foster parent, you simply contact your local child welfare agency in your area, whether it's state or a private agency, and then you undergo the process. You undergo fingerprinting, background check, a great deal of training. And then about 6 months after it, you usually have your first child placed in your home, and it's a wild, wonderful adventure. I might add this, 60 plus kids from my home. Every child made me a better person in some way, and it's the most rewarding thing I've done. Hardest thing I've done, but the most rewarding thing I've done.
Doctor, today's Memorial Day. I want to be positive on Memorial Day. Tell us about some of your success stories of the children that you've been involved with.
Only 6% go to college, only 2% graduate with a 4-year degree. We had a young lady come to us at age 17. When she was 9 years of age, her family was killed in Romania. So she was adopted by a family in New York. Has said, "We'll be your forever family. We'll teach you English. We'll love you forever." And then for 6 months, she was horribly abused sexually. And then they gave her back. They unadopted her, if you will. They had a family from another state. New York said, "We'll teach you forever family. We'll teach you English. We'll love you forever." And for 1 year, they abused her physically and sexually, and they gave her back. A third family from the state of Georgia for 6 years said, "We'll be your family and love you forever." And then for 6 years, she was horribly abused. And then when she was 17 years of age, she came to live with us. And you can imagine, she had issues of trust, of abandonment, of attachment.
Yeah.
When we said we love you, to her, love meant abandonment. Love meant rape. Love meant abuse. So it was very, very hard for her to understand that we weren't going to hurt her. And it was very challenging, very troubling. She pushed all of her buttons. She tried to resist everything. She tried to sabotage it, as she should, because, again, 9 years of 3 families adopting her, saying we're going to love you, and then abusing her. Now she is a successful caseworker with child welfare. We happen to be very, very involved with her life and her children. She inspires me. Her story inspires me every day. She's able to conquer those the anxieties and the trauma that she has suffered from so much, and she's a testimony to me.
Doctor, are you a Christian? Is your family a Christian family?
Couldn't do without the grace of God. Absolutely.
I only ask it because of my next question. What's Christmas like at the DeGarmo household?
Well, 1 year we had 7 kids in diapers one Christmas. We called it a very smelly Christmas. That was a bit of a nightmare, to be honest with you. Christmas is a time of joy. 1 year we had 23 kids around the Christmas time coming in and out of our home. It's a day of tremendous joy. It's the only day where no one leaves the house for 24 hours because we have so many kids coming and going. My wife and I coming and going. It's a very special day, and it's a day of family. And as I said, kids keep coming back to our home. It's lovely.
Talk with me. Doctor, I was watching a lot of things, not a lot to do, so you watch a lot of television lately. And I'm surprised by the number of athletes that are, quote unquote, raised by the grandparents.
Right.
And I wonder, wow, the grandparent did such a great job with the parent. The parent's not in the picture. Now this kid is being raised by the grandparents. Could you talk about the pros and cons of being a child being raised by a grandparent versus being raised by a loving foster family?
Well, grandparents when they get to be that age, they're tired. They didn't sign up to be a parent all over again. And many grandparents don't understand the complex challenges that it's so different when they raise their own children. It's so different when they were a child themselves. We have today the whole world of the internet that they didn't grow up with. So many children today who have suffered trauma and abuse turn to the internet, turn to social media to find the friendship, to find the love they're seeking. And for so many of these kids, they're vulnerable, and there are online predators out there who are waiting for these vulnerable kids and snatch them up with lies and false promises, and these kids running away and becoming victims of human trafficking. These grandparents aren't familiar with that online world. They're not familiar with the social media. That is, you and I might live in an online world. For today's kids, they inhabit it. They inhabit it, and that's different. And some of these grandparents they're not prepared for that reality.
Dr. John DeGarmo, director of the Foster Care Institute and founder and national director, development director of Never Too Late. Doctor, tell us about these organizations.
Oh, thanks for asking. The Foster Care Institute is a program. I travel the nation and the globe working with child welfare agencies, working with foster parents and foster children, working with human trafficking issues. And as a director of the Foster Care Institute, I'm able to provide the resources, the support, and the training for these organizations. Never Too Late is something a little bit different. My wife and I think it was the third time we had 11 children in our home. And you might be thinking, how many kids can you have in your house as a foster parent? Normally, it's 6. But there's such a need for foster parents right now, mainly due to the opiate epidemic. More kids flooding into a foster care system due to the opiate epidemic. Not enough foster homes. System is in crisis as a result, that we've had to many times take in more children. I believe it was the third time we had 11 kids in the house, and my wife and I looked at each other and we thought, you know what, we're just a little bit tired here. We're wearing a little bit. We don't have help, how can we do this? There's only 24 hours in the day, not 32 like I would like it to be. So we wanted to take it to another level. So we opened up a home, a residential therapeutical home for boys in the foster care system. Those boys who are transitioning out of foster care, those boys between the ages of 16 to 21, and it's called Never Too Late. And these boys have to learn important living and social skills. They have to learn how to grow their own food, prepare nutritious meals, cook the meals. They have to learn how to do cooking and cleaning for themselves. They have animal therapy, art therapy, play therapy. They work within the community. They learn these important skills so they do not fall as one of those statistics I quoted earlier when youth age out of foster care. We truly believe it's never too late to help a child who is willing.
When I hear stories like that, I think of Babe Ruth. That's a little, coming out of an orphanage, going into baseball, not really having the loving care of a parent. Right. And Doctor, I really do believe it does take a family. It takes a parent. Doctor, one last question, if we do have time with you. This epidemic, this pandemic, I really see as putting us into a depression, an economic depression, very much like the Depression of 1929 as far as people unemployed. Have we started to see any ramifications from this depression in families and children or parents not being able to take care of their kids?
Oh my goodness, we certainly are. We're seeing a spike in the rate of child abuse in homes. Normally, on any given year, we have 5 million children who experience domestic violence in their own homes. We're seeing more of that now. Now, the media may tell you that there's being underreported. The fact is these kids are not going to school and seeing their teachers, seeing their coaches, seeing their school counselors, these mandated reporters. So the child abuse is going unreported. And as the anxieties of the parents in the home, anxieties because of, well, I have my job, can I feed my kids? And the other anxieties they're surfacing, many of these parents are lashing out of their kids. At the same time, we're seeing child predators using COVID-19 to target more vulnerable kids online. And when COVID-19 is behind us, we're going to see a rise of human trafficking for these kids running off to the big cities to join these predators who have been reaching out to them during COVID-19.
Dr. John DeGarmo, I want to thank you so much for joining us. Doctor, please tell our audience how they could follow your work, find out more about the Foster Care Institute, and also Never Too Late. And also, Doctor, hold up your book again and tell our audience where they could get your book and why they should get your book.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, this is the Foster Care Survival Guide. You don't have to be a foster parent to appreciate this book. You just have to be a parent or somebody who cares for kids, how to help children suffering from anxiety disorders, how to help children who are suffering from human trafficking. You can find more information at the Foster Care Institute. Just go online, look up the Foster Care Institute, or search my name, Dr. John DeGarmo, Foster Care Expert. I'm all over social media. And again, if you have, the truth is this, not everybody can be a foster parent, but everybody can help a child in need in some way. And here's the fact. Right now, as you and I are having this conversation, there is a child in our communities, in our neighborhoods, who is hoping and praying that somebody will take time to help them. And we can each help a child in crisis in some way.
Well, thank God there are people like you and your wife.
Absolutely.
And I mean that sincerely.
Absolutely.
Dr. John DeGarmo, I want to thank you so much for joining us here on Conservative Commandos. Again, you're wonderful people, you and your wife. Take care and God bless.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
And you are listening to and watching the Conservative Commandos radio show with Dr. Wright, Dr. Nasir Shaikh, and yours truly, Rick Trader. Don't go away. We'll be back with our next guest right after this break.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 888-431-0562. That's 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562.
Dish TV is better than cable TV. Here's why. Dish has the nation's lowest TV price, along with an award-winning DVR that can skip commercials, record 8 shows at once, and get access to thousands of movies at your fingertips. Cable simply can't even compare. So the smart choice is to cut the cable and get Dish. Plus, you get all these great TV features, free HD DVR upgrade, free installation, and free movie channels. Say goodbye to cable and get more with Dish TV. 877-290-7764, 877-290-7764. As an added bonus, you can switch to Dish now and receive a $50 Visa gift card. So call now and get Dish TV. Call 877-290-7764, 877-290-7764. That's 877-290-7764. Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, monthly equipment fees, and other restrictions apply. Promotion can change at any time.
Friend, do you remember when it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank to expand a business, go on vacation, or buy a new car? Well, today, withdrawing your own cash has become a very risky business, according to The Secret War, a shocking new research report. I just read it. And folks, I was amazed to learn why banks are now required to spy on us for the government and then report any suspicious or unusual behavior. I suggest you get The Secret War free. Just call the number on the screen, no charge, from the folks at Swiss America, and get this. Did you know simply spending cash today may be enough to have you branded as a potential criminal? That's right. The new war on cash is really a war against all freedom-loving Americans. The Secret War is yours free, so call the number on the screen and you can tell them Pat Boone gave you the number.
And welcome back. Welcome back to the Conservative Commandos radio show with Dr. Wright, the doctor for the Republic, Dr. Nasir Shaikh, and yours truly, Rick Trader. And for rebroadcasts of our show, please check out our website, ccrshow.com. That's ccrshow.com. And with that, Nasir, we do have our next guest with us. And the honor of that introduction is up to you, buddy.
Thank you, Rick. I want to introduce here Cindy Grosz. She is running for candidate on the Republican side. The seat is District 4 in New York, Long Island. You know what, Cindy, she grew up in this neighborhood. She attended schools in the Hewlett-Woodmere schools. She did her shopping, she even says, even on Franklin Avenue in Garden City, Long Beach Road and Oceanside. She spent her summers in Atlantic and Long Beach. She is a well-respected Jewish activist. She's been honored for her work for fighting BDS movement. She's exposed those people that deny the Holocaust. She's spoken out about education concerns. She wants to bring communities together to oppose hate crimes and violence. She's also an outspoken supporter of President Trump in terms of promises that he made and promises that he kept. And she stood proudly at the inauguration of President Trump in 2017, and she was also there at the opening of the American Embassy in Jerusalem. When she's elected to Congress, Cindy is going to be the first modern Orthodox Jewish woman from any party sitting in the House of Representatives. So Cindy, we certainly welcome you here to the Conservative Commandos radio show.
Thank you for having me, and I love the patriotism that's going on with the tie and everybody else.
Well, if you turn your head, you've got something there in terms of on your hair, a little clip. I love it, a Trump clip. Excellent.
I actually designed and created it last year. I co-hosted 2 parties for President Trump's birthday, one at the Trump Hotel in DC and one in New York.
Now that is 100% pure gold, right?
I wish. I wish. Otherwise, well, with the rate of coronavirus, I would have melted it down for the campaign because
there you go.
I want to win. I'm going to win. We have a very important primary in New York on June 23rd. And like you had in California, we have a blue leftist governor who's trying to steal elections. And we also have to be concerned about rhino Republicans that are running, that do not support our president, who has done so much for our country. You mentioned before, promises made, promises kept. His predictions in 2015 about what we needed were never as important as now with coronavirus. Make America independent again from China. America first. Businesses matter, small and big. Reopening them safely and responsibly. And the most important we don't talk about enough, our amendment and constitutional rights are under siege every single day through this coronavirus, whether or not it's the Nancy Pelosi House of Representative bills that are coming in, and or even locally, statewide, local. People must learn who their representatives are on every level of government.
You know, Cindy, talk to us a little bit. I know off camera over the weekend when I was talking with you, you basically said that, you know what, this is a very winnable seat in New York for Republicans. You always hear, for example, in the Northeast area, it's blue. You know, you're not going to win. It's really tough. And not only are you saying it's a winnable seat, but you're also saying something in terms of that it's a huge, the demographics there. You are a Jewish activist as well. So talk to us about the Jewish vote, because normally the Jewish vote, which I don't understand, and I know when you speak to a lot of Jewish people, they say that, you know, why is it that they vote Democratic so often? So give us a sense of where is that vote right now, along with the other vote, the demographic in your area.
Okay, so like I said, my district has 4 Orthodox Jewish votes. The person that I'm running against is a 3-term Congresswoman, Kathleen Rice, who basically in the past was a moderate Democrat. She was one of the few Democrats that came out against the Iran nuclear deal. And she received a lot of money from Republican Jews in my district. However, the past 2 years, her big claim to fame has been talking about impeaching Trump. This is a former district attorney who's supposed to live by the law of the land, innocence before guilt, and now has been preaching guilt by accusation. So she has turned off many of her Jewish constituents here. As what you did not mention is that I'm also an advisor on the National Diversity Coalition for Trump. Reverend Darrell Scott has endorsed me, and the timing of his endorsement coincided with the Biden remark. Last week, I was at a social distancing event in one of the areas that is a Black neighborhood in my district. People there are upset. They are tired of Democrats and the local Republicans in office who have ignored them. I am not the endorsed candidate. You brought up something about why my seat is winnable. Long Island has strong grassroots in every single kind of background. Hispanic, Black, there's Trump Islamic followers for Trump here, women, millennials. We are a very diverse group of people. There are 2 congressional seats here where the Republicans who are not endorsed are going to win the primary and go all the way. And what happens to be for the Peter King seat? Peter King voted with the Democrats. We don't want any more rhino Republicans. My competitor in the primary has no record of working anything closely resembling supporting a Trump issue where I have 4 years of it, 5 years of it. So he can't fight me on the record, and everybody knows me as a Trump supporter and an activist on behalf not just of Trump, but the administrations and policies.
So give us a sense. For example, I believe his name is Douglas Tuman.
Yes.
He's going to be your opponent. So give us a sense of what differentiates you between, the things that you're advocating for. And I guess he is a person that has the backing of the Republican National Committee there, or the local Republican?
It's the Nassau GOP.
The Nassau GOP, okay.
So he gets a paycheck. I am the only candidate from either party that does not get a paycheck from either the town of Hempstead, Nassau GOP, or Kathleen Rice. I am doing this because I believe in the grassroots. I believe in people voting, and people are tired. I know it's in California the same thing. We don't want to hear from GOP leadership who to vote for, and then you don't help support candidates to win.
No, exactly. And that's what it said. So give us an idea of, why is it, for example, you said the people in that district, in that area, they're sick and tired of the local GOP sort of, shilling for, the candidate of the party that's sort of being recognized, when here you are as a Trump supporter. But that's the reason why, right? Is because you want to upset the so-called red apple cart in the Big Apple in that district. And
I
you
want to do what's
things
right.
different. Yeah,
I want to do
absolutely.
what's right. And the same thing's happening in the Peter King seat. Again, somebody who works or has ties to the county leader was the person they chose, rather than the person the people want and is most qualified to do the work. We learned that people are tired of anti-establishment. If we would have listened to the establishment in 2015 for the nomination of president, we would have had Hillary Clinton as president, because the establishment wanted Jeb Bush. And
Bingo.
He would never have won against Hillary. In the Democratic Party, we saw it in New York with the AOC race. They saw a young, aggressive girl go after something that she believed in, and now she's the most important voice in that party. Whatever she says, and even though they say that she's in a tough situation, she's being primaried, her hold on that party is so strong. She has the squad. She has Biden talking about going more towards the left in policies, whether or not it's fighting the amendment rights that we want. So, our Second Amendment rights are being challenged by her, whether or not it's educational choice for our children, oversight in classrooms, which I helped write legislation for in 2015, how our children are not learning accurate American historical facts is key. That's a key conservative value we pride ourselves on. The
Absolutely.
right of separation of church and state. My opponent considers himself somebody who is somebody who works for the town of Hempstead as an engineer. That does not qualify for knowing issues or being able to work with a congressional team.
Great. Cindy, they're telling me here that we're coming up past a break, but we'd love to hold you over for another segment. Do you have time to do that with us?
Absolutely. I appreciate it.
Great. Well, we're here speaking with Cindy Grosz. She is running for the congressional seat in New York District 4, which is in Long Island. And we are coming to you from the Conservative Commandos Radio Network studios and around the world on the internet with TalkStream Live, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, American Political Radio, and AM/FM 24/7. And also we can be seen on the AUN TV Broadcasting Network in California. Folks, we'll be back with Cindy in just a few minutes. We've got to go with our sponsors. Don't go away. We have so much to talk about on the other side.
Attention homeowners, do you have a house that's in need of serious repairs? Do you have tenants that never seem to make their monthly payments? How about code violations, past due taxes, or maintenance costs you just can't afford? Then call my friends right now at Quick Cash Offer. They specialize in buying any home, no matter how ugly the situation. Turn that problem property into cash right now. It's just that simple. One call and you can get rid of that home headache forever. They buy the ugliest houses with instant closings, instant cash, and huge savings. Plus, there are no realtor fees, no listing fees, and no repair costs. Just cash in your hands for that painful property. They're buying a few more houses in your neighborhood this month. So take advantage of this cash offer and call Quick Cash Offer now.
855-296-8854. 855-296-8854. That's 855-296-8854.
Listen carefully. If your student loan debt is overwhelming you and things seem hopeless, we've got great news.
If you're still struggling with your student loan debt, there are government programs available that may actually lower your payments by consolidating your federal student loans. Just call us. We'll review your situation and work with you to consolidate your debt. In many cases, depending on your situation, we can lower your monthly payments in half or more. It doesn't matter how much you owe or how far behind you are. Even if you're in default, call us right now to find out how we can lower your payment in half immediately. You can stop the harassing phone calls and the wage garnishments. All you need to do is pick up the phone and call us right now. We can remove your default status, consolidate your federal student loans, lower your payments, and we can do it today. Stop worrying. This is a real solution that can help. So please call us right now.
Call 800-917-8671.
Are you over the age of 50? Want peace of mind and financial security for your family? Here's an important message to you and all seniors from the Final Expense Insurance Hotline. The average funeral costs about $7,000, even more. And the most government benefits will pay your family is only $255. That leaves your loved ones with a burden of paying your debts and funeral costs. Our plans start as low as $1 per day and will pay up to $30,000 for your funeral and other final expenses. There's no medical exam and you'll have lifetime coverage. Plus, your rates will never increase and your plan cannot be canceled regardless of your medical condition, as long as you make your premium payments. Get free information right now. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone in just a few minutes. Call right now.
Call 855-221-7334.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next?
How do you get in front of companies or get a patent?
Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors just like you for 35 years.
And thousands of people contact them every month.
With 65 offices, you can meet with an InventHelp representative near you who will keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. And they offer 3D animations and prototyping services to help demonstrate your idea. InventHelp's exclusive databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to confidentially review new ideas, like yours.
Don't wonder what to do next. Take action right now and get the help you need from InventHelp.
InventHelp. Call today for free information.
800-880-2937. That's 800-880-2937 now.
And we want to welcome you back. This is the Conservative Commandos radio show with Dr. Right, Dr. Nasir Shaikh, and yours truly, Rick Trader. And once again, for rebroadcasts of our show, check out our website, ccrshow.com. That's ccrshow.com. We have our TV show there, our radio show there, as well as a lot of other terrific articles, information, and videos. Our guest this segment is Cindy Grosz. She's a candidate, or she's seeking to become the Republican candidate to run for Congress in the 4th Congressional District in New York. Cindy, thank you for holding through that break. We appreciate your time. And Cindy, why did you decide to make this leap?
I actually decided to make this leap because I actually had worked on many campaigns, and I was sitting at the Trump Hotel this summer with some people, and they said to me, Cindy, this is a seat, we did the research, that's winnable for Republicans. And you know what's even better? They're not expecting this seat to flip. So they said, Cindy, you know the media, you know the issues, you know how to connect people, you know how to work with all the different groups. You're involved in so many grassroots activities. You know people higher up. Go for it. We will help you. And true enough, the people that said this to me have been with me every step of the way.
All right. Cindy, talk about President Trump and also the Jewish community. Am I wrong in thinking that traditionally the Jewish vote went for a Democrat? And so could you talk about that? Talk about Donald Trump in the Jewish community.
Donald Trump has been the greatest president for the history of Israel and for the Jewish people all over the world, fighting anti-Semitism, recognizing our rights to practice our Judaism freely. And many people do respect him for that. And I believe part of fake news is that you're going to see a much bigger Jewish vote than you expect. I see in my own district people who are donating to me. They are Democrats. I see people that aren't religious. They think just religious Jews are going to vote for Trump. People in business are going to vote for Trump because they don't want this to become Venezuela. They appreciate what he has done, and he's a New Yorker. I wish I could say the numbers would be bigger, but then again, I'm listening all weekend to all the fake news about the blacks are only going to come at 8%, the Hispanics. I can tell you, as part of the diversity coalition, the numbers are going to be much bigger. I think that President Trump, he had his Trumpy cat mask.
What was that?
That was your cat, Rick. I think that somehow transported over to.
Was that your kitty?
That is my Trump cat who is coming to Washington with me.
Well, usually it's my kitty.
This is the first. I never had the cat come into an interview.
I love it. I love it.
Well, Cindy, I have a little kitty. I call him my director. His name is Bobby. And every once in a while, he does make an appearance here on the Conservative Commandos radio show.
Well, I actually have 3 cats. In fact, President Trump actually signed an executive order protecting adoption of pets. So that's another great thing. The man has just been incredible with his support of so many different issues. But going back to the Jewish vote, of course, it's the one question I get asked every day. But like I said, I think a lot of people more and more are seeing the choice of Venezuela or America. And being that this is around the time of Memorial Weekend, and as people are looking back and reflecting on grandparents who came over, who served, I mean, you talk about American history. You ask children today, who was Hubert Humphrey and what he saw and what he did during World War II or President Eisenhower. They don't understand the foundations that America was built on. There has been no better president for veterans. I mean, and respects them so much. And of course, he's been 100% right about COVID-19. I mean, he really called the shots early on. His mistake was that he listened to rhinos who said, go with the Democrats and, paralyze our country. But I think that
not just paralyze our country. I think that what they have created is a depression very similar to that of the Great Depression of 1929. Cindy, speaking of that, what are your ideas in getting our country back to where it was? How do we end this Great Depression? How do we put people back to work? How do we get, I really do think that coming out of this, upwards of 40% of our businesses will not make it. What do we do in this country? What do we do to recoup our economy? The last Great Depression took 16 years and a world war to get over. How do we get out of this mess?
Well, first of all, I was the first person in New York to run. I was the Queens Long Island chair of the March for Trump, but it wasn't a march. It was in your car drive. It was really a freedom drive to reopen New York. It was May 5th before everybody started their little gatherings. It was done safely and responsibly. People were in cars. People had signs in their cars. We all gathered in public places where we had social distancing. and it was not a disruptive, combative. It was all peaceful, just joining together in support. We also stood to fight for our, like I said, our amendment rights. That's very big, a big key to our businesses. Because if we're going to lose freedom of speech, we're going to lose businesses. And we have to make ourselves independent again. We cannot rely on China the way we did for medicines, for all this manufacturing. I think it's going to come back. I hope it is. I do know that Larry Kudlow and Steve Mnuchin are two Wall Street geniuses that really know what they're doing. They actually led us out of the Obama depression, for lack of a better word. I know it's very hard. I think we have to be, though, realistic, careful. I think businesses are going to change. I think schooling's going to change a lot. I think, one of the platforms I am running on is because I am an education activist. President Trump spoke about eliminating the Department of Education, or if not diminishing a lot of the power. One thing we learned during the pandemic was that a lot of money is being wasted on the public schools and the Department of Education. I think a lot of that money is going to be revamped into businesses. I think people who was homeschooling their children had the best options for their children. I think people are going to be looking at real estate differently now and where they hold businesses. And I think people are going to learn to appreciate things differently. Family values are going to come back very strong now, and they're not going to go away so fast because people got stuck together, whether or not they wanted to be, and they learned how to appreciate dinner time, talking to each other, and simple games, card games, puzzles. I never saw so many people do puzzles like they did the past 2 months. People will get back to work. They're not going to jump in overnight because that will be, I think, a way of failure. But they are going to do it very, very, very carefully. And they're also going to look for advice for other people. And they are going to look, I don't want to say towards government, but they're going to look for other people in their businesses and work together. So I think you're going to see a lot of, not unionized, but a lot of relationships building. And that's the way we're going to get there.
Well, I hope that some of the jobs are remanufactured by bringing those jobs back from China. I really do think that's going to be very key to a recovery. Cindy Grosz, we want to thank you so much for joining us here on the Conservative Commandos radio show. Please tell our audience how they could find out more about you and your campaign.
www.cindygrosz.com. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I am on WinRed. The safest thing you could do is go on your computer and make a simple donation to I do need help with the primary. Once I win the primary, I will go all the way and win. We need 19 seats to flip the House. We actually need about 25 or 30 because we don't want to rely on Mike Pence to come every time for a ceremony to change because we have a couple of flippers. And we still have a couple of those rhinos there. So
you do.
I'm telling you, there are seats to flip, and mine is one of them.
Okay, Cindy Grosz, best of luck to you.
Thank you for having me.
Keep in touch with you, and best of luck in your campaign.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And you are listening to and watching the Conservative Commandos radio show with Dr. Wright, Dr. Nasir Shaikh, and yours truly, Rick Trader. And we'll be back with more right after this break.
Mom, thank God you're going to be okay.
So relieved. But you both should know when my time comes, I have a final expense policy with Senior Care USA.
Is Senior Care USA the life insurance policy that helps loved ones pay for funeral expenses and other debts? Bill and I called to get more information.
Yes, and there's an immediate payout of up to $50,000.
If you're over 50, call Senior Care USA now to learn more about final expense insurance plans.
There's no medical exam, even if you have a pre-existing condition like I do. When I called, the quote was free, and there was no pressure.
I found out that policies start for as little as 35 cents a day. Rates will never increase and coverage won't decrease.
I'm going to call today.
Ask about the free prescription discount card. Oh, I'm so glad you'll be taken care of.
Call 1-800-822-7419. That's 1-800-822-7419.
But is it? It's really just the beginning, right? Have you written a book and want it published but don't know where to start? You're not alone. Page Publishing cuts through the confusion that most new authors face, like copyright protection, barcodes, printing, and digital uploading. We will get your book into bookstores now. We guide you through the publishing maze and help you distribute and sell your work in hard copy and ebook formats. That's right. We will digitize and place your book for sale on Amazon, Apple iBooks, and Google, offering it to millions. Don't waste another minute. Most publishers won't even look at new author submissions, but we're different. We review your book and provide you feedback in about a week. If we decide to publish your book, your work ends and ours begins. From copy editing and proofing to typesetting and book cover art, our team gets you into bookstores fast.
Call 1-877-461-5033.
Does your current bathroom need to be updated immediately? Introducing one-day bath and shower remodeling. The complete and hassle-free way to get the new bathroom of your dreams in as little as 1 day. And for as little as $199 a month. Yes, the experts at One Day Bath and Shower Remodeling will come to you anywhere in the country and show you all the customized options. Now you can have a brand new bathroom in as little as 1 day. Large or small bathrooms, if you want a new bathtub or shower installed, we can do it in as little as 1 day. And if you call right now, you can save $750 off your remodel. We make it easy by offering you financing as low as $199 per month. So for as little as $199 a month, you can finally have the bathroom of your dreams. Call now to schedule your free in-home consultation.
And welcome back. Welcome back to the Conservative Commandos radio show with Dr. Wright, Dr. Nasir Shaikh, and yours truly, Rick Trader. And I want to give a shout out to folks who are listening to us on radio stations in Jacksonville, Tampa and the Villages, Florida, Las Vegas and Reno, Macon, Georgia, Lancaster and Pittsburgh, Boulder and Colorado Springs, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Long Beach, California, also Arlington, Virginia, Washington, D.C., and also seen on the AUN television network in San Francisco, Sacramento, San Jose, Silicon Valley, Wine Country, all the way up to Redding. You know, Nasir, from time to time, I like to have other people come on our show, possibly listeners, and get their perspective on what's happening in their area. I put out an appeal on Facebook. I wanted to talk with someone who is caught up in this Chinese virus and what the country is going through and how it's affecting their lives. And Andrea Huer is with us. She is a resource specialist, which is a special education teacher in Lemoore, California. And Andrea, I wanted to thank you for joining us here on the Conservative Commandos.
Thank you for having me.
Andrea, how has what the country is going through, I'll call it a Chinese virus, that's where it's come from. Our country's in a lockdown, especially places like California. I wanted to know how it has affected you in your life.
Well, as a special education teacher, I have been working with students for about 33 years, and this is the second time that I've worked online in a distance learning mode. Mm-hmm. I work with students in Zoom meetings, so that took a little bit of time to learn how to use. My students are where my main concern is. Them and my parents that work with the students when we don't get to see them in person.
Andrea, I would think, how many students are in your class?
So
tell us about your class. Is it a self-contained class? Is it rotating classes? Talk to us about that.
So I'm not a special day class teacher, which would have students who, if I was a special day class teacher, I would actually have students that are in my own classroom under my name.
Right.
And they actually are having to do the same thing with Zoom meetings and Google Classroom.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I have a caseload between 28 and 32 students. We do a push-in, pull-out model in a traditional sense, not now, but prior to COVID, where I push into classrooms with my tutor, and we also pull students out into small groups and individual groups, depending on their needs. I have students that have autism, that have auditory, visual, and kinesthetic learning disabilities. I have some students with low cognitive functioning skills. We work on behavior. So I have a myriad of students. My caseload currently is 26 students.
Andrea, let me just say this. I'm ADD. I've been ADD all my life.
Yes.
However, when I went to school in the 50s and the 60s, ADD wasn't understood. I was just a kid that didn't pay attention, jumped up a lot, had to move around a lot. The only way any teachers ever got anything to me, my desk had to be right next to their desk. I can't imagine what it is like for a teacher to try to teach a special education student over the internet.
So I neglected to say I have students with ADD and ADHD, and for some, it has been very traumatic. For example, at the beginning, 2 months ago, when we went into distance learning, one of my students was actually acting out at home and punching holes in the walls, which is something we did not see. We did not see that, and nor had the parents. In fact, it got to be so bad that we stopped doing the Common Core individualized work where the student was required to do all the classwork that was being sent to them in Google Classroom. And we kind of picked and chose what was needed for the student so that they wouldn't be as stressed out as they were showing in their outbursts. We went to a one-on-one model where I met with the student. And the poor mom, she didn't know how to do any of the math either. I mean, the Common Core math is very different. So she was sitting in on my Zoom meetings with the student and we were working through the class assignments together. And
are you able to hold the students' attention through that? I would think at home there's a million distractions that wouldn't take place in a classroom.
There are, and it's, there's chaos anyway. TVs are going, other children. We actually had the problem for some of our students. We gave every student in our district was given their Chromebook and or their iPad, whichever, it depended on their grade level. So they were given those. They were handed those out at the beginning, and then for the students, we have a high population of low-income students, so they don't even have Wi-Fi. So our district bought transmitters and sent those home with students and put them in places so that those students could even access. So, but Wi-Fi doesn't always work everywhere. And so that's
Cindy,
another issue.
Cindy, this is Dr. Nasir Shaikh here.
It's actually Andrea.
I'm sorry, it's Andrea, my fault. Which is Andrea. That's what happens when you don't have anything on this, and my apologies, Andrea. As Rick was saying, so give our audience a sense. I mean, it's difficult enough as it is when you talk to public school teachers that when their child is in the classroom and they don't have any physical challenges or any handicaps. And here you are trying to deal with children long distance learning, as Rick, you were talking with Rick previously, where maybe even the parents aren't able to even help or do anything. So are you seeing any, I mean, how disappointing is this to you? Or, I mean, what are some of the pros that you're seeing out there in terms of, things that you can hang your hat on and go, wow, this is working? Or is it even getting to a point where you're wondering yourself and saying, wow, what's going on here?
I'm going to preface this with my doctoral dissertation is actually on do virtual charter schools, which would be a distance learning model, are they good for students versus a traditional charter school. And what I found was it's not in the best interest for children with special needs. So I'm going to preface that with this. In that respect, I do know what it takes to work with students in a long distance relationship or learning environment. What I've had to do is spend hours trying to figure out what is my catch for the child. So for some of my students, I had to work extremely hard to work one-on-one. We kept the time down. You actually don't work for 45 minutes. 30 minutes is a max, and when I see that my students are exhausted and not paying attention anymore, we talk about how they're feeling, and then we either stop the session, reschedule it for a different time, or the parents will say, you know, can you come on at a different time? I've changed my schedule 2 or 3 times just to meet the needs of the students.
Andrea, you're saying in an entire day you'll have them for 30 minutes?
They have that, yes. I offer my time
versus 5 or 6 hours during the school day?
Yes, exactly.
And you know, Andrea, if I make the comment, this is a wasted school year. And in wasting this school year, you're going to put kids back 2 or 3, maybe even 4 years in their education. Am I wrong if I make that statement?
I think it might be a little exaggerated.
I like to
I
exaggerate.
think that we've lost about 6 months of learning.
Wow. How do you recoup that?
And
yes,
it's going to take a lot of reteaching.
Well, you know, Andrea, you're probably not going to get these kids back in the classroom to the next school year. I'm not sure when the school year starts in California. Here on the East Coast, it starts into September, but you're not going to get them back into the classroom to then. So therefore, it's going to be they're going to be out of a classroom for 6 months.
I really hope not.
Well,
we're looking at August 11th for our start date.
It's 5 months.
We do have some mandates. I'm sorry.
Wow.
It's going to be a different model. I'm not happy with it. I really wish that we could have. I think it's a waste. I think we could have been in the classroom. If you look at our statistics in Lemoore, I believe our students already had or were exposed to this whole virus in October and then again in February.
Well, you know, every year, Andrew, every year we go through a cold, flu, and virus season.
Exactly.
Yeah, we go through this every year. You know, last year, for an example, and these are not my numbers. These are the numbers from the CDC. Last year, do you know how many people got the flu?
39 to 56 million.
That's right. You know how many died?
62,000.
That's right. What about the year before? You know how many people got the flu?
The same amount or more. In fact, in the
49 million. You know how many died?
I'm guessing about 50,000.
78,000. You know how many schools were closed?
0.
We go through this every year. Andre, and it's frustrating for me to see what our country is going through. Hey, Andre, we've got to run, but we want to thank you so much for joining us here on the Conservative Commandos radio show. Take care and God bless.
Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome. This is the Conservative Commandos radio show with Dr. Nasir Shaikh and yours truly, Rick Trader. Don't go away. We'll be back with more right after this break.
Are you a veteran and are you a homeowner? Then think Streamline and maybe save yourself a few $100s every month on your mortgage. A VA Streamline Refinance. It's called a rate reduction loan because mortgage interest reduction is exactly what it does. It's just for veterans, and it lowers your mortgage rate so you can save on mortgage payments every month, every year. That's a lot of money saved. And it's so easy to qualify. You don't need pay stubs, a W-2, or bank statements. You don't need a home appraisal. It's fast and easy to apply. And mortgage interest rates are very low right now. So a VA Streamline Refinance makes it super easy and super affordable to take advantage of this opportunity and really cut your monthly mortgage payments. Veteran and homeowner? Call us to find out more. 888-893-7491. 888-893-7491.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next?
How do you get in front of companies or get a patent?
Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors just like you for 35 years.
And thousands of people contact them every month.
With 65 offices, you can meet with an InventHelp representative near you who will keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. And they offer 3D animations and prototyping services to help demonstrate your idea. InventHelp's exclusive databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to confidentially review new ideas, like yours.
Don't wonder what to do next. Take action right now and get the help you need from InventHelp.
InventHelp. Call today for free information.
800-880-2937. That's 800-880-2937 now.
Is your credit card debt driving you batty? We're going up! Just like your credit card fees and interest rates. To the top! With those sky-high payments! You can't forget about your debt. Always fear, the debt suckers are here!
Are your payments sucking the life out of you? Just one call to Consolidated Credit can get the debt suckers off your back. Consolidated Credit will lower your interest rates, consolidate your bills into one easy payment, and get you out of debt fast. Call Consolidated Credit and get your life back.
Call 1-800-201-8213. 1-800-201-8213. That's 1-800-201-8213. 1-800-201-8213.
When debt is the problem, Consolidated Credit is the solution.
Because debt sucks!
Attention Viagra and Cialis users. Are prescription drugstore prices too costly? Get 50 generic pills for only $99. That's right, 50 100 milligram generic Viagra for only $99. Our products have the same active ingredients as the brand name products. Money back guaranteed if you're 100% not satisfied. Get 50 generic pills for only $99. Order now and call the number on your screen. Have your credit card ready.
And welcome back. Welcome back to the Conservative Commandos radio show with Dr. Right, Dr. Nasir Shaikh, and yours truly, Rick Trader. And for rebroadcast of our show, check out our website, CCRShow.com. That's CCRShow.com. And Nasir, we're trying to give an idea of how people are coping with this Chinese flu and the aftermath of it, and this quarantine and whatever. And with us, we got Bella. Bella, welcome to Conservative Commandos.
Thanks for having me on.
Bella, what's going on where you're at? So are you still locked down?
Well, so the stay-at-home was lifted last Monday, and it's just absolutely sickening what's happening in this state because, like yourself, I do a radio show, and next week I've got some bar owners that are coming on that restaurants were supposed to open up at the 1st of June. However, and a lot of these bar owners went and spent money that they didn't have to put in all the PPE, all of the plexiglass, all of the distancing, everything that was required, only to find out that now Governor Walz has declared that bar owners and restaurants can only open if they have patio seating.
Patio seating. Now,
Oh
what
my
state are
goodness.
you in? You're in Minnesota?
Minnesota, yes.
Minnesota, okay.
Minnesota.
You know, what are the bar owners, these bar owners telling you, Bella, how much have they lost?
Oh, I mean, the thing is they can't go to a bank and get a loan. They have to refi their homes. And 80% of these bars and restaurants will probably collapse, because I was just talking to a bar owner this morning. When I get done with this show, I'm going to do prep for my show next week, and I'm talking to one of them. The problem is that they are telling these bars and restaurants they may not open until September, but Waltz has already said there's a potential second wave, and who's to say that he won't extend it till next spring? And the biggest problem is if all of these bars and restaurants, take 80% of these bars and restaurants in the state of Minnesota, do not open, where are we going to have jobs on top of the already skyrocketing high unemployment?
Well,
Bella,
you know, Nasir, Bella, let me tell you when this is going to end. It's going to end after the first Tuesday of November. That's when it's all going to end, because after that we'll have our presidential election, and there's no need for the media and the left-leaners in this country to punish us anymore, because, you know, Bella, that's what this is all about. They want to get rid of Donald Trump, and to get rid of them, they're willing to destroy our country, destroy our economy to get rid of them.
Yeah.
And that's what this has all been about.
Yes.
I mean, you know, Bella, this is Dr. Nasir Shaikh here. And you know what? When you go, people don't understand this. I mean, this has that cascading effect. I mean, okay, so here you're talking about the bar owners and the restaurant owners. So let's just take a street in downtown Minnesota. So let's say 80% or even 50% of those businesses close down. You know, that's affecting real estate. That's affecting those people that own those properties. Who are they going to get to come in? As an investor, when you see this thing happening, are you going to come up and put in $150,000, $200,000, $300,000 into revamping a restaurant, knowing that something else could happen? I mean, you're talking, and then the people that were there employed, like you said, where are they going to go now? I mean, they've got to wait this. Are they going to wait out a second wave? Are we going to have another cash stimulus program being sent out there? Go ahead.
If there is another wave of the virus and the governor threatens to shut us down, what this has taught all of us is what our constitutional rights are, because constitutionally they could not. They actually can't shut us down. I mean, unless you have gone through due process, which that's why, you know, when this first broke out, I think that we all submitted to fear and accepted it because we were told it was 2 weeks. However, this has been now 7 weeks into it, and all of these people, I was at Subway down in southern Minnesota today, and 2 young girls, probably 18 and 20 years old. The minute I walked in, I just said, when is this enough? They both agreed to it and went on about how they were at a grocery store the other day where 250 people were in this tiny little area, no bigger than a small Subway. However, they canceled the county state fair. We're not having our state fair here in Minnesota, which is like, I mean, when the Minnesota State Fair happens, everybody in the world ends, and that's all that we talk about is the state fair. I left the Subway with a sandwich, and this is Bumblebee Nowhere, southern Minnesota. And I was sitting in my car, and all of a sudden, a guy pulls up next to me. And when he gets out, he walks right up to my window. I've never seen him before, middle of nowhere. I rolled out my window, and you know what he said to me? When is this S going to stop? I mean, people are fed up, and it is affecting us. It's affecting our psyche. And what is going to happen in the fall with this massive unemployment, all of these businesses not being able to reopen? I mean, the Great Depression?
Oh, we are in a depression.
We are.
This is a self-induced depression. You know, we haven't had unemployment numbers like this since 1929. What scares me, Bella, you know, you're talking about all these bars and restaurants that will not make it, that will not reopen. It took 16 years in a world war to get over the last Great Depression. What's it going to take? What's it going to take to get us out of this? And, it bothers me to no end because I know this was all a plan to get rid of Donald Trump, to destroy our economy, to destroy our country, to destroy the president, that each and every year, and we just talked about it with our last guest, each and every year we go through a flu season. Last year,
but this isn't flu season anymore.
The year before, 49 million people got it. And these
right,
numbers,
but this isn't even flu season. It's June in a week, people. I mean, this is heading into summer. I mean, flu and cold season. But you're absolutely right, Rick, because I thoroughly believe that they thought that they had Trump with impeachment. And then as the longer that the impeachment wore on, I believe the powers that be said, okay, how do we orchestrate this and how do we monopolize on this flu season? And because how did we go from impeachment to the virus on every single station, every single news outlet? And how did every commercial become a COVID commercial? I mean, that doesn't happen overnight.
Nope, it doesn't. It doesn't. And they got the media, Bella. They do have the media. They got the
academia,
media, and that's all you're hearing. That's all you're hearing on the media is COVID. And, let's not call it COVID. It's Chinese. It's the Chinese flu. That's where it came from. It's the Chinese flu. Bella, we got to run, but we want to thank you so much for joining us. Bella, you said you have a radio show. Please tell our listeners how they can listen to you.
Absolutely. Go to Bella, BELLA, D'Angelo, DANGELO.net, which is my website. It also has a link to the podcast. Thank you, Rick. Love you as always. And we got to fight, baby, fight. And I do believe Trump is going to get reelected. And let's hope the other philosophy happens. Once we're let out of our cages, once we can be free of these cages, we've got all this money, we can go and spend, and maybe jumpstart this economy again. God bless you guys.
We need to jumpstart the economy. But for instance, you were talking about these bar and restaurant owners. They don't have $200,000-$300,000 to reopen their business. They don't have that. Most of them don't. Most of the bars and restaurants I know, and I don't drink, so I don't go into a bar. But let's talk restaurants. These are small mom and pop restaurants, okay? They're not the big chains. They're not the Outbacks. They're not the Olive Gardens. They're the little Speranzas, okay? They're the Cafe Ninas. They're the little places that are run by families. They don't have that kind of money. I'm really concerned for those people. I'm concerned for our country. I really am. But Bella, thank you so much for joining us. Take care and God bless.
God bless.
And this is the Conservative Commandos radio show with Dr. Nasir Shaikh and yours truly, Rick Trader. Nasir and I will be back with more right after this break.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 888-431-0562. That's 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562. 888-431-0562.
Dish TV is better than cable TV. Here's why. Dish has the nation's lowest TV price, along with an award-winning DVR that can skip commercials, record 8 shows at once, and get access to thousands of movies at your fingertips. Cable simply can't even compare. So the smart choice is to cut the cable and get Dish. Plus, you get all these great TV features, free HD DVR upgrade, free installation, and free movie channels. Say goodbye to cable and get more with Dish TV. 877-290-7764, 877-290-7764. As an added bonus, you can switch to Dish now and receive a $50 Visa gift card. So call now and get Dish TV. Call 877-290-7764, 877-290-7764. That's 877-290-7764. Limited time offer, 24-month commitment and credit qualification required. Cancellation fee, monthly equipment fees, and other restrictions apply. Promotion can change at any time.
Friend, do you remember when it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank to expand a business, go on vacation, or buy a new car? Well, today, withdrawing your own cash has become a very risky business, according to The Secret War, a shocking new research report. I just read it. And folks, I was amazed to learn why banks are now required to spy on us for the government and then report any suspicious or unusual behavior. I suggest you get The Secret War free. Just call the number on the screen, no charge, from the folks at Swiss America, and get this. Did you know simply spending cash today may be enough to have you branded as a potential criminal? That's right. The new war on cash is really a war against all freedom-loving Americans. The Secret War is yours free, so call the number on the screen and you can tell them Pat Boone gave you the number.
Well, Nasir, that wraps it up for today. And as always, I want to thank you for sitting in as my co-host, and tell our audience where they could go to keep track of you when you're not here on Conservative Commandos.
Thanks, Rick. Well, they can go to my website, which is www.drnasirShaikh.com. So it's drnasirshaikh.com. Or they can go to Twitter, which is at Nasir Shaikh Show. That's at Nasir Shaikh Show. Or Facebook, which is the Nasir Shaikh Show. That's the Nasir Shaikh Show. And we want to thank, the guests that we had here too. We had 2 great guests here, Rick. We had Dr. John DeGarmo, who's the director of the Foster Care Institute and also the founder and the director of Never Too Late. And he was talking to us about foster care in America and how, if somebody wants to become a foster parent to take care of a child, this is the way to go about it. And then we also had Cindy Grosz. She's a New York native. She is running for the Republican nomination in the primary. I think it's June 23rd. And that's in Long Island, District 4. And she's going to talk to us about, why she's entering into the, entering into public life, what she thinks of President Trump. She's a Jewish activist out there, what she thinks of Donald Trump and the Jewish vote. So a lot of good things here in terms of with our guests, once again, Rick, on the Conservative Commandos radio show.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we also want to thank Bella and Andrea for joining us here on the Conservative Commandos and to let us know how this Chinese flu is affecting them and their life. But for right now, we are out of time. We got to run. We got to go. Take care. God bless. And we'll see you tomorrow on TV and on radio.